Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial for the Art of Combat. Today we're going to be going over a few different things. One of them is how to import an animation pack into the Art of Combat, and another is also a continuation of the integration that I did in my previous video for the advanced locomotion system. Integrating the advanced locomotion system with the Art of Combat. So just go ahead and launch the Art of Combat. If you already have it on your computer, that's fine. So the advanced locomotion kit I was talking about is that one, and the animation pack we're going to be using today for today's showcase or tutorial would be this one. So just go ahead and add it to the project. Wherever your Art of Combat folder is, and there we go. So I'll try to make this video as brief as possible. So importing your animation is not really a difficult thing. In my first video, I think I went ahead to show how you would import your model, your character model, as a beginner if you wanted to quickly test stuff out in the engine in a prototype real quick. So go ahead and watch that video. Alright, so this is started, and let's just restore now. Okay, we'll get to this in a second. Right. So to import let's assume that we had just migrated the Frank animation kit. We would just come into the scale meshes, we would go into the SK mannequin, for example, and this is what it looks like. Right, so okay, we would normally be like retargeting this entire skeleton, sorry about that, like I showed you in my previous video. So what we want to do is come in here, come in here into the skeleton, make sure you have a retarget source. If you don't have one, if you don't have anything here, just add new, then select humanoid rig here. You may show advanced if you want, just to see that it's there. Check the pose, make sure it's an A pose like this. Save it, close this, and then you go into this folder here for the Art of Combat, and you also check it. And also make sure that, the same thing is done here, that you have a target source and you have the pose, blah blah blah, and then you save that and close it as well. And then you go into you go back in there and just retarget to another skeleton. Normally you would need to like close this anyway, so you then select the skeleton add-new. That's the one you want to retarget it to. And you allow remapping to existing assets, so that the notifiers or whatever that may be on the animations are going to be copied over. Any animation blueprints as well. Anything animation related will be copied over, including the meshes are not going to be copied over, and the physical assets are not going to be copied either, but anything animation related will be copied over, minus the skeleton as well. So you then go ahead and retarget, and that would be that. So once you do that, you'll see that if you go into the animations and you go into test, all of a sudden your character model is using the animations and everything. All right, so if you want to use the animations for root motion is simply where you are controlling a character, and maybe you press a button and you want something to happen. You just come in here, open the animation, and select enable root motion. If you want to use it for in place, there's some in here that actually called in place. You can see this is in place by itself. You can still do this, and that would turn it into a root motion animation, where you can later go into the blueprints and then add a launch if you want the character to actually be launched into the air, or adding pulse or something. But anyway, those are fairly advanced topics, right? So just like that, you have all the animations to be used. To then set them on your character, you can just drag a character in from in there into BPs, go into BP and just drag the character in there. And then once you have that done, you just go on ahead and come down in here to the RPG component and type in montages. Like this is just for like really fast prototyping anyway, just to check the animations and stuff. You then go in here and like for example the light attacks, you know that if you press the, you can always check that in here. You can check the inputs here. You'll see extra inputs in here. That's because I'm working with a number of packs, but the input, okay, you can see the heavy attacks here, right trigger, right mouse button, left. This one's you can like really easily test out, right? This is the left mouse button or the left trigger. So you just come in here and you look for like light attacks, heavy attacks. You can see those. So then you just set, you just go into the Frank animation kit. You can go ahead and create an animation montage for it. Something like that. When you do, you just come in here and you select a slot. Usually it will be the body if you want the entire body to move when you attack or execute the animation. And then you're going ahead to include the notifies from my own examples. Like for example, let me see, come into leg sweep and you just take a look at these. So you just use this as like some sort of like template, like you want to disable collision on the right leg there. You want to tell the other character you're attacking that you're about to attempt to hit him on his torso or on his legs or wherever you want. Maybe a camera shake there, maybe a slow-mo if you want that. You want to enable the character to be able to parry there, and at this point no more times for parries. Enable collision on the right leg. At this point is where you actually show the hit reaction or play VFX or SFX or something, through all of this like that, and then you disable the collision again so that after the animation of the actual hits, the character is not still dealing damage or whatever. This is also where you deal damage here. Anywhere from here to here is basically like if it hits the character, it will do damage. And then not attempting to hit anymore because you already told him that you're attempting to hit here. This basically is like for if you want the character, maybe the AI, to like run away or do something special, or prepare to guard or something, and then here you're telling him, okay, you're not about to hit anymore. And then enable smash chain and second smash are for like different chaining events. Maybe chain is for quick attacks, enable smash is for maybe to change another light attack, another light attack. Enable second smash, I believe, is for chaining another heavy attack. You have camera shakes and finish execute true. It's for the AI to say, okay, you know what, I finished attacking. I can do something else. Then reset parry, and reset combo to reset all the variables that you're using in your attack. So something like this is, if you look at what I have here, it's for this particular project, it's a bit different because here I'm not using legs, I'm using hands. So I have to like go ahead and create new notifies for. This is how you create a new notify, by the way. That's when I created new ones for the hand. It's basically the same things that you saw before. I'm about to attack with my hand, and in this case, since I'm using the dual animation set, it's both hands. So this is just the tedious part. Past that, it's not really. That is basically everything. And once you're done with the animation montage, you just go ahead and set them wherever you want, and you would be able to just go ahead and play around with them. Just like that. Now, I believe there was something. So that is it for like importing animations and all that. It's a really straightforward process.